What's up guys? Hope that you're doing well. In this video I would like to talk a little bit about the need for downtime as a HSP, a highly sensitive person, and the need for meaningful conversations. As a highly sensitive person, you probably dislike small talk and you probably dislike overcrowded situations where there's a lot of stimulation, a lot of different people, a lot of responsibilities, a lot of tasks you need to complete, or a lot of plans that are filling up your day. It might stress you out, okay? And so this need for downtime is something that I definitely recognize within myself. Whenever I feel like there's too much on my plate, I withdraw. I need some time spent alone, just thinking, letting my mind wander, perhaps listen to a little bit of music, going for a walk. But on the other hand, withdrawing too much can cause feelings of loneliness. And I fell into that trap, okay? I was overstimulated, overwhelmed, and then I need to withdraw, but then I withdraw too strongly, too much, and then I feel lonely, right? So I had to figure out a solution for that problem because I really experienced it as a problem. I didn't want to feel like this. I didn't want to feel like life was too demanding or too stimulating and I needed to withdraw from that, and then I withdrew into loneliness. Now, one of the reasons why I did that is because I despised small talk. I can't stand people not willing to go deeper. I couldn't stand people not willing to go deeper because I had to learn to deal with that. I couldn't stand it. I remember a phase in my life where I was like so rebellious against it. I was like so annoyed by small talk. Do you really need to talk about these superficial things? But then I came to understand that a lot of people actually need some kind of small talk in order for them to feel comfortable, in order for them to understand that you're a sociable person. Okay, it's a skill, right? And it's the burden is on you. You need to learn to engage in a little bit of small talk to make people feel comfortable, to show them that you're a sociable person, and then you can move deeper into more meaningful, profound conversation. That's always what I've liked the most, having real conversations with real people, hearing about their fears and their goals and dreams and what made them into who they are. And I'm a firm believer that everyone has a story to tell. Everybody has knowledge that can be of benefit or of use, that can be profoundly impacting once you learn to listen. Okay, so I spent a lot of time learning how to be a good listener, but I had to also unlearn a lot of those behaviors because I became too much of a listener at some point. And I was not really giving anything back. And a conversation is a dance. You move back and forth and you speak with someone and then you share something about yourself, and the conversation builds, because if you don't speak about your own vulnerabilities, then the person on a subconscious level really distrusts you, and that doesn't allow for real connection. So this problem of downtime, as a highly sensitive person, you need a lot of downtime. At least I do very regularly. I need time to de-stress, decompress, let my brain just wander and literally do nothing, because the stimulation can be so intense that I kind of, there is like a short circuit in my brain, right? But so the isolating withdrawal, it can cause feelings of loneliness. So what I found as a solution for this is to create downtime with one person. So the environment is a lot less stimulating. There's one person you can focus your attention on, and you can have a relaxing conversation that is slightly stimulating, but that is also very calming, right? And the people I meet, for some reason, something that they often mention is that, I'm so glad we can have finally like a serious conversation. There is no small talk. It's no this superficial conversation, because I dislike that. I'm so thankful that we can have this conversation. And so it's a problem that I think many people deal with, especially highly sensitive people. If you're a highly sensitive person yourself watching this, you probably also don't really like small talk that much. right? So it's a skill that I learned to develop to make people feel comfortable very fast, engage in a little bit of small talk, get to know them, and then move into a more meaningful, profound conversation. And that allows me to not feel alone while still working on that downtime, while still reducing the stimulation in my environment, so I can get back to baseline, I can feel at peace again, right? So perhaps this is something you have struggled with yourself as a highly sensitive person, this need for downtime, but then also the feelings of loneliness when you withdraw too strongly. Okay, you retract yourself, you remove yourself a little bit from everything that's happening around you, and that can cause strong feelings of loneliness, and that's not a fun, pleasant feeling. However, I think it's equally as important to learn to deal with these feelings by yourself, because you are going to spend time alone. Not everybody is available all the time, so you will need to learn to get comfortable with this feeling of loneliness. And sometimes for me it's still difficult to do that, right? But I became a lot better at managing these feelings. Right now I can understand that, okay, I feel perhaps lonely, and then I ask myself a series of questions which help me to resolve this feeling, because usually it's just a sensation in the body, and then there is thoughts and beliefs that are attached to this feeling that make it worse than it actually is. So I learned to sit with that and I ask myself, okay, why do you feel lonely right now? Because being alone doesn't mean that you're lonely. It usually means that when you attach a feeling of loneliness, you start to doubt your worth. You start to doubt whether people actually care for you, etc. So it's more attached to these beliefs that you have surrounding the feeling than what it actually is about, right? So the solution in my case is, one, learning to deal with these feelings of loneliness whenever I am alone and there is not really anyone available. But secondly, learning to regulate my overstimulation with just one person. And today I had an incredibly pleasant conversation with a very good friend of mine who also happened to be here in Mexico, and it really calmed me down. It really helped me to feel connected, but at the same time, reduce my overstimulation that I felt, because there were so many things going on currently, all these plans and the things that I'm doing, and that can cause me to feel very overwhelmed. So spending time with another person and engaging in meaningful conversation can be a great form of downtime that can reduce the feelings of loneliness, simply because you're not doing it alone, you're doing it together with someone else. Okay, so I just thought I'd share that real quick with you. If you find yourself having to withdraw because of the overstimulation, but you also struggle with feelings of loneliness, then this can be a great solution for you to do that. And you don't necessarily have to, come from a needy place. Like I don't come from a needy place. I'm just like, hey, I would love to see you or hang out and have a conversation. Are you up for that? We can go for a walk or for a coffee or whatever it may be. Just a low stimulation environment, not too loud music and lights and everything, just a calm environment, and then have a pleasant conversation. And people enjoy good conversation. A lot of people that I meet talk about the absence of meaningful, deep conversations they're having, because people tend to stay on the surface. So be willing to go a little bit deeper yourself, be willing to be a little bit vulnerable with yourself, but ask good questions also. Don't ask closed questions, yes or no questions. Ask open-ended questions. What are you working on currently? How are you feeling? What is going through your mind lately? Whatever it may be, and you can have very meaningful, profound, connecting conversations that are also allowing you to reduce the level of overstimulation you might be experiencing as a highly sensitive person. Alright guys, I hope that was helpful. If you like the video, feel free to leave a thumbs up. This helps to expose the video to more people who might be interested in learning more about highly sensitive people. And if you would like to see more content like this in the future, click that subscribe button for me. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.